What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are looking at Bitcoin today. Looking at Bitcoin, making moves, man, making moves. I want to start the video by saying I have been a bear. I've been probably one of the bigger bears in the market. I still do think that it is possible that this isn't the low, but I am going to admit that this move on the daily right here that we just had, this bullish close, greatly diminishes the possibility of that. I believe less now than I have in a long time that we're still in a bear market. In fact, we could very well be in the beginnings of a bull market. It is completely possible. And I want to say, I know some people might hear this and be like, man, you were bearish. You were so bearish. Like, why are you bullish now? Like how can you say that? You were wrong? Yes, I was wrong. I was wrong, man. I was definitely wrong. This right here, this was just like I said in my last video, this bounce off the 50, this was the first indication of me being wrong. Every time that we've bounced off of this 50, I'm just making sure I'm recording. Every single time that we've bounced off of this 50, we've had a minimum of a move. The smallest, I went back, there's only 9 iterations. This would be the 10th one if it happens, which I think it will. 9 iterations isn't a lot, eventually it will be proven wrong, but the smallest percentage pump that we've seen was a 25% bounce. The second smallest one was 70 something. It might have been a 70% bounce on the dot. After that, they've all been greater than 100, if not hundreds of percents to the upside. So from bottom to top here, that move is 25.3%, and I believe the smallest one we've seen before was like 25.28 or 25.25. So very close to this top here. It's possible that we could come up, double top, and then roll over from there. But in the meantime, we're at least good, in my opinion, at least for another 8% to the upside, if not more likely higher. And we're going to go over why. Let's zoom into the daily here. Again, this bounce off the 50 on the weekly RSI, this is the first sign, and if not one of the most significant things that's happened to Bitcoin in a very long time. Just like if we broke below the 50, that would have been one of the most significant things, but we didn't get it. Unfortunately, we didn't get it. If you're like me and you're looking for that lower low, you're looking for Bitcoin to make a bearish move right now, the 52% move I've been talking about to the downside, believe me, man, I feel you. I am just as upset about it. Trust me. I was excited to buy Bitcoin below 20 grand. We might not get that. It's possible. It is completely possible that this low could be taken out still. It's not the end of the world for the bears yet, but as time moves on, as we get closer to the halving date in April of 2024, as we get further away from this bottom, and I mean, we show more bullish moves like we are now, it becomes increasingly less likely, and you have to be dynamic and fluid and accepting that you're going to be wrong. You're going to be wrong. And the sooner that you accept that and you realize that, the less pain and the less of the move you're going to miss, it's just better to kind of rip it off like a Band-Aid, lick your wounds, and then get back at it, man, And I am considering buying some Bitcoin right now. I'm definitely considering it. I am anticipating a move that's going to bring us down, anywhere from like 27,000 maybe to 27,600 to the 236 or the 382 of this move from the bottom to the top. This move might not be over yet, though. It can go up higher. I'm not planning on buying until it looks like we've topped out. The only way that I would buy, really, would probably be if we had like a daily close above this high. Honestly, that's me personally, and the only reason I know that might sound silly, it might, I'm gonna miss the whole move, whatever. That might sound like that, but the only reason I'm saying that is because, as significant of a move as this is a higher high. We closed higher than this closing high here. As significant as that is, the volume is still insignificant. The move itself was only 5.5%. It's the same stuff that we've been seeing since March. The move itself has not been that significant. For a move that broke this trend line, right? That's not it, sorry. From like something like this. For a move that broke through this with somewhat significant volume, I would just expect this move, after all this time, I would expect it to be bigger and more dramatic than all the stuff that we've been seeing before. It's just more of the same. But counter to that point, the first little move up we had, it was a series of little moves. The biggest move we had was like 5.7%. So as long as it keeps climbing, the further we get away, the more we keep going up. This little insignificant move for what it seems right now, it might prove to be significant, and the days will tell. The days will tell. But I would feel more comfortable buying Bitcoin up here at around 30,500. Once it closes above there, I'd feel more comfortable about it there personally than I would now, because there is still the potential that we could turn around from here. Anytime, look at this, right? Since we've had this high over here, anytime that we've had a candle that was a bullish engulfing candle or a solid body, flip to the downside, right? Here's a big body, and then we came down, right? These little bodies here, whatever. We had a big one here and then came down. We had a big one here and then came down. Every time we've had a big candle, it has resulted in lower lows. It has. So that's the one thing that has me skeptical, especially because this move is not fantastic. It's the most fantastic thing about it. I will go over right now. Again, it's closing above this and the fact that we do have a higher high. That is fantastic. And the most fantastic thing is that on the weekly, we bounced off the 50 on the RSI. I think a lot of people are going to be mistaken in calling this a double top. It's not a double top, first and foremost, right? I can see where people would be mistaken in calling it a double top, right? You've got a top here and a top here. That's two tops. It's a double top. It wouldn't be a double top, though, because this is not the top of the range. This is the top. If it was to be a double top, a true double top, we would come up here, find a top here, and then move down. And maybe we're in the midst of doing something like that. I don't personally think that. I don't feel that. I think this move is the real deal. I do think that we are going to see continuation. And what I mean by that is, let me show you. You can see here, you can see here that we went up from bottom to high. We went up, then we came down, then we went up, then we came down. I think we're going to go up again, and I do think we're going to go above this purple line. The purple line, by the way, is like right around 35,000. It wouldn't surprise me if we went to 37,000. It wouldn't surprise me if we went to 39,000 or 40,000 from here, and I'll show you why. The reason being, from the all-time high to, if this is the bear market's low, if this is, and we've got from the previous cycle's high to the previous bear cycle's low, in my opinion, a very significant fib. Showed respect on the 236, didn't respect the 382 too much, but that's okay. You're above it now. I would expect that we would at least come up to this 618, which is at about $39,000. We could even wick above it, and the 0.69 is at 43. We could go as high as 43,000 on a wicking basis, but I would expect at least to close around here, if not a little bit above or a little bit below. But I would expect something like that. And I think that this is the move right now. I think this is the beginning of the move that's going to take us there. I'm not buying here. Personally, I'm not buying here, again, because I'm not quite convinced. I'm pretty convinced. I'm convinced enough to call for that, to relinquish my bearishness that I was calling for a move, a 52% move from top to bottom. I was calling for that. I've been calling for that. I was calling for June to be a very bad month. At the risk of that and sacrificing my own pride, I am confident enough in this move to say that I think we are moving up here. But I'm not confident enough yet to get in. What would boost my confidence really would be if this week closed. If we got the week to close above here, that would definitely boost my confidence above this. But really a daily close, not a weekly close above there would be nice too, but a daily close above about $30,600. A daily close above there would have me convinced. And I wonder on the weekly what that is too. 30,300. If we get a weekly close above 30,300, I'm game. It doesn't have to go to 30,600. 30,300 is good enough for me, especially on a weekly close. But let's be real here. This is a higher high. We got the higher high right now. It happened. It literally just happened today. I need to get rid of that. There we go. Volume is increasing. However insignificant it is increasing, and we're moving up. It looks good, and it really wouldn't surprise me. We could see a move just like this where we continue little, just like baby steps upwards, systematically working up. The volume profile over here was a lot different than it is over here, right? You can see just how much smaller the volume is. Like this volume is pretty comparable to the day that we're experiencing now, right? You can see how they're almost identical. But that day was a 0.32% move, where these days that were 5%, the volume was like double. So that's literally the one thing that has me concerned, and that's genuinely the only reason I'm not buying right now. But as we get further away from this bottom, as we take, we've already taken out this high. As we take out these highs, as we get closer to this top, I'm going to be more inclined to buy. And I'm already very inclined to say that we're going to see the extensions from top to bottom here. If I was trading this asset, if I was trying to go long, I would personally expect a rejection off of the 618 right here. I would expect it. Come back down to the 382, maybe even the 236, which the 236 is right around 26,130. The 382 is at 27,000. So anywhere, maybe we see a move like that and then come up. Maybe we see a move down here and then come up. Either a bounce off the 382 or the 236. But that, if I was trading this, if I was looking to trade Bitcoin right now and go long, I would not go long here. I would personally wait. If you go long here and it goes up, good for you. I think you're gambling. I think you're making a move after every single time that Bitcoin's had a candle like this in the last 3 months, 4 months. Every single time it's had that, it has had bearish follow through, literally. And this candle is no exception. It's nothing special yet, other than it's a higher high. Which, by the way, this was a higher high up here, and we still had bearish follow through. And again, I do think overall we're going to go higher, because if we go on the weekly, I know I'm talking a little bearishly here, but if we go on the weekly, this bounce off the 50 is significant. I would expect a move that's at least, at a minimum, would take us to a double top. But at the moment, I'm inclined to believe that we will see extensions. But currently, if I was trading this, if I had money and I was trying to go long on this, I wanted to go short, I would not go short here. I personally would not go short here, because the odds of us going up are still there. We definitely could go up from here. We haven't rejected the 618 yet, but as a trader, I would expect that we do find significance on the 618. Maybe we go up a little bit higher even. This could be a good area to go short. And then we come down, maybe we come to the 0.5, maybe we come down to the 0.32, maybe we come down to the 0.236. I would expect the 382 or the 236 to be the more common bottoming points, low points. I think what we're going to do is we're going to have a low here, we're going to have a higher low, and then we're going to have a higher high, and then a higher low, and then we're going to work our way systematically up through this fib scale, ultimately up into the extensions. But at the current moment, let's stay level-headed. I know it's exciting. I know it's very exciting for Bitcoin to be bullish. If you're bearish, I know that it's not as exciting, but just flip. Just pay attention to the charts. We got higher highs here. We got a bullish kind of engulfing candle that engulfed this here with more volume, increasing volume. Flip it. You were looking for a move that was going to take us down like lower. Now just look for a move that's going to take us up more. It looks like that's what's going to happen from here, from the current price. At a minimum, I would expect a 16% move up. That's amazing. That's nice. You don't even have to have leverage for that. That's great. To the 186, maybe a 33% move up. That could happen, and probably in a very short amount of time, probably within the next month or so. If not, that could be more of an argument for the bearish side, but we'll see as it unfolds. This price action, to be fair, hasn't been too easy to navigate, but you go with what you got. And right now what we have is, I'm gonna pull up some things real quick. On the daily ribbon, we had a bearish cross. Very strong signal. The last time that we had a bearish cross, we dropped 41% in 21 days. This time, we dropped 13, not even 13%, not even a third of that. And not in the same amount of time. This took 17 days, but by 21 days, we were up already. So given the same amount of time, we had less than a third of the same move that we did last time. This should have been a clear indication, and I even hinted at this the last video I made, that this should be a signal that the bears are not showing as much strength as we were hoping for. Back here, when we had the cross, when we had this up here, and then we came back down, it was looking strong, but we didn't have any follow through. Every move lower that we had, I was excited about, but I even said, I'm like, nothing spectacular has happened yet. Just like I'm saying it here, nothing spectacular has happened yet, other than the fact that we've got a higher low, and I'm not gonna lie, this looks like it wants to cross to the upside. I would not be surprised if it crossed to the upside. But we could be showing disrespect. Maybe this ribbon isn't as significant on the daily as I would like it to be. On the weekly, we are definitely seeing some significance. This weekly looks like short of a black swan event or like an absolute obliteration to the downside. Which, by the way, if we were to close below this yellow line, I would flip bearish. I'd flip back bearish just as quickly as I flip bullish now. And it can happen like that. Price action is crazy, man. You need to be fluid. You need to be able to pivot your decisions if you want to stay in a position that's not going to get you wrecked, basically. It's all about that's part of like risk management. You have to be fluid. You have to really be. They say that the people that make money doing technical analysis, it's not that they know how to be right, they know how to be wrong. And that's part of it. You have to know how to be wrong. Because if you don't know how to be wrong, man, you don't have to know how to be right, and you can make a shit ton of money. Or you can make a little bit of money, but you can still, if you don't know how to be right, you're still going to be okay. But if you don't know how to be wrong, if you don't know how to accept that you're wrong and just look at yourself in the mirror and be like, man, I was wrong. If you can't come to that conclusion, you are going to get wrecked. You're going to have a very bad time. You're going to miss every good move to the upside. You're going to hold on to every move to the downside. You have to admit whenever you're wrong. And right now, that's, if you're like me and you've been bearish on the candles, on the charts, and rightfully so, there were a lot of bearish indicators. You have to admit that you're wrong, man. You don't have to. I'm admitting that I'm wrong because this looks like it wants to cross up. On the weekly time frame, we bounced off the 50 on the RSI. We bounced off the yellow line here. We closed a little bit below it, but we bounced off it. This is a bounce. On the weekly time frame, again, short of a dramatic drop to the downside over the next 5 days, which anything could happen. It's possible. This week is only up 8%. Bitcoin can definitely drop 8% in 5 days. That's completely possible. It's not a hard thing for it to do. But in my opinion, that doesn't look like what's going to happen. In my opinion, it looks like we're bouncing off of this. We are going to see a bullish cross on the weekly, and that is going to be very, very significant. That'll be, I don't care how insignificant the moves look on a daily basis, this is going to be a very significant thing. Along with, if that crosses, we will probably have a daily cross too. That's two very significant things happening for Bitcoin to the bullish side. We are climbing as we speak. We're climbing as we speak. Here it goes. It might just go from here, man. Oh, man, we're catching it right on the stream. Not even a stream. I tried to make a live stream earlier, but to capture this daily close, but I couldn't figure out how to do it properly and like make it all look just like normal. I don't know. I have to learn a little bit more about live streaming, I guess. Do some YouTube University before I do that. But man, I wish I was live right now. I really do, because this is it's happening, man. It's happening right now. We're going up. Let's see here. Yeah, with the way that it looks, it wouldn't surprise me if we made a quick little move up to 29,500. And at the same time, wherever we turn around from here, if we're to turn around from here soon, it wouldn't surprise me if from wherever the top is, because the top just changed. It just went up higher. Wherever the top is, remember, because before the 382 is at 27,000. Now it's a few $100s higher. Wherever the top is, whether it's here, whether it's a little higher or whatever, wherever we find our momentary top, a momentary high, I would expect we see some kind of a pullback to the 236 or the 382. That would be a good time to go long or get in my opinion. Especially if you're looking to trade this. If you went long already and maybe you went long on the daily close and you're already up like a little bit, good for you. Good job. I think it's risky. I think it is risky, but I mean, man, this really could be the beginning. Risky and smart. The only difference is if it works out. Like if you end up making a good move, you're gonna feel smart. But if you were to go down, you're gonna be like, okay, I was playing it risky. But it looks good. It looks good right now, man. I'm gonna refresh the page one more time here and go to the 4 hour. I want to see the hourly actually real quick before we really. I'm gonna wrap the video up here. We could be in the midst of printing off some bearish divergence. We do have 53 minutes left. This hour, there's not a whole lot of volume. The volume died after this. We've been dying off. It looks like we had our main move, and now we're just pulling up a little bit. It wouldn't surprise me if this hour gave it back, if we had bearish divergence here, and then we came lower. Again, that's not detrimental to Bitcoin. I still think everything that I've said, that it is going to go up from here. But again, that low, or from low to high here, this fib, I would expect the 236 or the 382 to hit. And if you want to go long, these are the areas that I would go long at personally. One or two of these areas. Maybe start here and layer in through there. If you want to catch this move that will likely go above 31,000, I think that'd be the play. And personally, with the way this 1 hour looks, I would think that we are going to see the top in this 1 hour. That could have been it. Maybe it goes a little bit higher, but I would expect that we see that. If not, man, this this RSI is going to look really strong on the 4 hour. Talking about a strong RSI, this thing is hot. It's been hot. It stayed in the bullish control zone for a while. It bounced off the 50. It actually didn't even get to the 50. This thing, I mean, it does not surprise me that we are this far into the overbought zone. The last time that we were this high was back here. I wonder what we were doing there. That was okay. That's not necessarily encouraging, but that was the top of this range. That was the top. The last time before that, you know, that was a momentary top, and we did pull back. I mean, that's not necessarily a good thing, but I don't, you know, it's not detrimental. Let's see if we got more. You know, like this right here. Okay, this to me makes more sense, right? We were down. We were in a sideways range. We're finally starting to show bullish things. We got higher highs. We got that high in the RSI. And yes, it was a top. We kind of went sideways for a little bit, but not before continuing higher and higher. And that's basically more or less what I think is going to happen now. We might pause for a second. We might come back down. Great time to go long. Great time to get in if you want to catch this move to the upside. But ultimately, I don't think this move is over. I think this strength is just the beginning. We're well above the purple line. We're probably going to flip the purple line to the upside. On the daily time frame, we're getting into the overbought zone. I wonder, I really do wonder what this day looks like. If we close in the overbought zone like this or higher, if we close like basically at this price, 28.7 or higher, and I know we got 23 hours to go, but if we close today like this or higher, this move that's going to take us above 31K, it's going to be happening a lot quicker, and we might not see that pullback that I was looking for. So today, you know, there's a lot that's going to have to happen today to kind of like make things more clear. But at the moment, the levels that I'm watching are, I am watching to see how we interact with the 618. I know we're above it right now. I know we are above it right now, but let's just see. Let's see if we come back down. We can go up to the 0.69. That's totally normal. It wouldn't, you know, maybe we go up a little bit higher even, but like breaking above the 0.618 and hitting the 6.9 and then coming back down, that's not uncommon. At the moment, at the current moment, and we do have a lot of time left in the day, so a lot can happen, but at the current moment, it looks like we're just blasting through the 618, which anytime that happens, the odds of you seeing the extensions go up a lot. And in fact, I would be, I don't know if I said this already or not, because I made a video. I thought I made a video, and I wasn't recording, so I might have said this already. I don't know. But if I'm waiting for this closing high to be taken out. If we close higher than this on a daily perspective, that's when I would get in. But if we close today above the 618 like this, and we have a day, if we come back down and check in at the 618, or really, I mean, honestly, if we close today above the 618, I don't care where the price is. I don't care if it's below here. I would be inclined to get in. I definitely would. I'm this close to getting in now, but I want to give it one more day just to see. Because again, this move, for what it is, for how significant of a move it is, it's just more of the same so far. It really isn't anything special other than the fact that we have a higher high and, you know, the volume is increasing, but the volume itself, again, is nothing spectacular. The move itself, again, is nothing spectacular. And that's the one thing holding me back, having me hesitate on getting in now. This could very well be a move that rejects to the downside. But the thing that makes me think that that's not true is this weekly RSI. I keep going back to this because this is significant, man. Go back in history anytime. It's only been 9 iterations. This will be the 10th. Anytime that we've bounced off the 50, we've had a minimum of a 25% pump. Minimum. 25.2, 28 or 25. That would bring us to this previous high here. So I would expect that at a minimum. At a minimum. Man, we are climbing right now. Are we just keeping going? Here we go. There it goes. 29K. No volume though. The hour did just start. It doesn't need volume, man. It can just keep going, whatever. It doesn't need volume, but I'm not gonna lie. Whenever I see a move like this, when you get a big candle like this with no volume, I'm more inclined to believe that, especially in the beginning of the candle, there's all this time left in the candle. it leaves it open to just get straight flipped to the other side, which could happen. But I mean, it doesn't have to. I've seen this kind of setup before where it does just continue. But odds are, when I see something like this, it normally makes me a little cautious. Which again, that's why I'm not buying here. That's why I wouldn't recommend that anyone goes long here. Yeah, but it is impressive. It is impressive. The only thing that's not impressive again is you've got your significant moves here with your significant volume, less significant moves, less significant volume as you climb higher. You need to take a break. You don't just move in straight lines, even on a 1 hour basis, you know. So it does, you know, pullbacks, even small pullbacks are kind of necessary. If we don't see a pullback, if we just keep going, that's going to make the pullback even more extreme. Again, it doesn't mean that Bitcoin's going to go to zero. Like if it just keeps going up, that's not what it means, you know. But the more you go up without having some kind of correction, the bigger the correction will inevitably be. So if we want to keep this thing healthy, we want to see it go higher, I would say a little pullback, at least, you know, maybe around 27.5, maybe around 26,000, somewhere in that range, you know, from the top of this or to the bottom of this, somewhere in there, maybe even the top of this around 28 now, which I think at the start of the video wasn't that far away, but now it's like a whole $1,000 away. So some kind of pullback from this top is what I would expect. And we just made new highs, so let's see what this 236 is now. About 28K to 27.3. It's getting higher, man. It doesn't have to stop there. It could go higher than this even, but I think it's indisputable. I think it's indisputable that we got a higher high, increasing volume. It looks like the trend is broken. This downtrend is broken. We're in the beginning of an uptrend, the end of which I would expect to see anywhere from $33,000 to $38,000, if not higher, and soon. But we'll see. You know, I'll keep you up to date. If you like these videos, leave a like, subscribe to see more. I will be making Bitcoin videos every day, especially when this happens. Hopefully I can figure out something with the live stream so that if we do get a bigger move coming or more dramatic moves, I can kind of like catch it as it's happening. I know I'm catching this as it happens, but anybody who watches this, you're gonna see the aftermath. Bitcoin might be dramatically higher, dramatically lower by the time you see this, but I am bullish. This is me completely, utterly, undeniably saying that I'm bullish right now. I could be proven wrong. It could ultimately, you know, this could be a big old bull trap, a big old FU, get a lot of bears to flip bullish, and then, haha, you were right all along, you're bearish. But again, this is why I'm not in the market yet. I would rather get in a little bit higher than get in right here where it is arguably risky, regardless of the signs we're seeing. Because we still have a lot of time left in this day, we still have a lot of time left in this week, and we still have 10 days left in this month. So a lot can happen in that time. The month right now is only up 6%. Bitcoin can definitely drop 6% or more in 10 days. So until we see things that are more convincing, in my opinion, to the tune of, you know, closing above $30,500 on a daily closing basis, or on a weekly closing basis, closing above $30,325, anything like that, or just taking out this high altogether. Until we see price go up around here and show strength, continue to show strength around here, I'm not going to get in. And I know at that rate, I'm personally risking, and this, you know, I don't recommend anybody else do this. This is just how I'm doing it. If you want to do it this way, if you agree with the way I'm thinking, cool. You know, we like great minds think alike, and so do silly minds. But 5%, you know, it's a 5% difference. I'm more than willing to sit out for an extra 5% to the upside to prevent a potential fake out move that could just dump. Because again, this looks significant. But if you look at the weekly volume, we zoom in here. This volume already for the week is not even half. It's about half as much as the week before, but it's not quite there. Yet this candle is bigger. This candle, yeah, it's a 9% candle on the weekly basis. This is the biggest candle we've seen on a weekly basis, on a closing basis, in this whole range. But it hasn't closed yet. And we've seen this biggest candle without a lot of volume. You know, there is increasing volume on the daily, but when you see stuff like this, especially toward the beginning of the candle, it is not uncommon for it to just give it all back. The one thing that has me convinced that that's not going to happen is we just took out the high, but the one thing that really has me convinced is just bounce off this 50 here. That's the one thing that really has me convinced. Not only did you bounce off the 50, but you've got a higher high here in the RSI. It's not confirmed yet, but a higher high in the RSI with higher highs in the price relatively. That's bullish convergence. To me, it all looks good. It all really looks good for continuation to somewhere around this purple line, probably higher than this purple line. But again, from here, from the current price to there, that's about 22% of a gain. I would much rather catch a 16% gain with confidence that it's going to happen. I'm already pretty confident, but I want to be convicted, man. I want to know that it's going to happen, and I'm not just going to get caught with my pants around my ankles. So with that all being said, yeah, I'm cautiously bullish. I'm definitely optimistically bullish even, but cautiously bullish. I haven't completely forgotten that this lower low could come in, that we could go lower than this, but at the current time, I'm a lot less convinced than I've been in a long time. So we'll just see how that goes over the coming days, over the coming weeks, and keep you up to date. At the current moment, again, I'm not getting in, but I would expect that in the coming weeks, the coming month to 2 months, but probably weeks, we are going to see a move that results in a $33,000 to $38,000 Bitcoin, and maybe even higher than that actually. This 2272 could get hit, but that's kind of the expectation right now. So, and I say in the coming weeks, in the coming days, in the coming hours, my expectation is actually that if you measure from low to high here, wherever this high is, I would expect that the 236 or the 382 provides support. We come down, we find support, and then we go up from there. I would be very surprised if the 618 was to be taken out. If I was to flip bearish again, if I was to, have my way ultimately, and originally how I was bearish, if that was to all play out, if this was to be a fake move and be proven that it was a fake move, we would have to see things in the tune of this, okay? So just this is what would have to happen. We'd have to have a closing body on a daily basis below 26,330. We'd have to have a closing daily candle below that. Or actually 26,320 below that. We would have to see a wick or any kind of low that is below this, and then ultimately also a daily close that's below here. This lowest close would also be indicative. If we get all of those three things to happen, if we break below this, close below this, and ultimately break below that, I know that it's like 1, 2, 3 steps to go, but like this would be the first thing. Taking out the 618 would be the first thing to get me excited that we might go to the downside. Closing below here would be the next thing to get me excited. I'd be pretty convinced. Then we take out that low there. They are close, but we'd have to take out that low. If we have all three of those things take place, which the third can't happen without the second can't happen without the first. So if that happens, if ultimately we take out this low, I would be, honestly, if we close below this low, I'd be convinced that we're going to go to the downside. But taking out this low ultimately would be what is set in stone in the chart, that this move was fake and that the downside is going to happen. And in fact, if we were to flip like that, this would look really bearish. This bullish move being fake like that, it would look really bad, and we'd probably see a dramatic drop. But I don't see that happening. I know that I just sounded bearish there, but I'm not bearish. I was saying that if all that stuff happens, that would then make me bearish. We would, getting below the 50 on the RSI would definitely make me bearish. Taking out these lows, man, that would really be it, because that at this point, that's the only thing that you could do. You've got higher highs now. So you'd have to, the only thing to kind of disprove this would be to continue your lower lows. That would make this seem like a fake move. But again, I really don't expect that. The RSI looks really strong on the daily, on the weekly, on the 4 hour. They all look very strong. Again, this is very hot on the 4 hour. It's very hot on the 1 hour. I am currently expecting that we are going to see some form of bearish divergence play out here, and that move will take us down a little bit, anywhere from like 26,000 to 27.5, somewhere around there. Probably very likely hold support there and continue to go up from there. And I know I've said that a few times, but again, I made a video already, like a 20 or 30 minute video, and I I wasn't recording, so if I've repeated anything, it's just because I want to make sure I got it on this video and that I'm not thinking I said it before when I really didn't say it. So, and also, I repeat things. I'm a repeater. That's how I talk. Let's see. Yeah, that's all I got for you guys, man. This month flipping around, man, it was so bearish, but you got a very big wick to the downside. You're coming up. Not a lot of volume. It's not super exciting. Whatever, though. And at this rate, you're above. At this rate, damn, man, on the monthly, it looks like you're bouncing off the 50. That is bullish. That's definitely bullish. I mean, it happened here. It did bounce off the 50 here, and it was bullish for a little bit. You know, from bottom to top, you went up 46%. Maybe that's what we're seeing. Maybe we're seeing a move like that, but that's still bullish, man. From bottom to top, if we were to see a 46% move, that would put us around 36K, which fits that range that I'm talking about, you know. And we could, and I very much doubt that we would move the exact same as we did last time. I would bet that that actually puts us right around the 1618, which is to be expected in my opinion. But it wouldn't surprise me if we moved a little bit higher or a little bit lower or whatever, you know. This one again was 46%. Maybe we move up 30%. Maybe we move up 50%, you know. Who really knows? But ultimately I would expect that this high at 31,000 gets taken out before this low does. And in fact, as we get higher, as we continue to go up and we take out more highs and get further away from this low might not get taken out. It might not get taken out for a while, if not ever again. At the current moment, I don't believe that. I think it looks good. I think prices look good, but let's just see. You know, let's let it all unfold. Because again, for as significant as things are looking right now, for all the significant movements and indications we're seeing in the charts, this price action is just more of the same. It's just more of the same, man. Up and down and up and down and up and down and up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. You know, like it's just more of the same. It's a big, ugly mess. And I don't remember if I've said this. I'm going to say this one more time, too. Anytime we've had a big candle, I guess since this one, anytime that we've had like a big green candle, we've had bearish follow-through. Big green candle, bearish follow-through. Big green candle here, bearish follow-through. And these aren't big candles. They're just big for the relativity of the range. Big green candle, bearish follow-through. And in fact, since this big green candle, every single time that we've had a candle like this or bigger, we've seen lower lows in the price. We've also not seen higher highs, so this is the first time we've seen higher highs, which is a good thing. But, you know, here, big green candle, downside. Big green candle, downside. We got a big green candle here, and it's only 5.5%. It's really not that big, but it could continue up. It could keep continuing up. At the moment, again, I'm going to say it one more time, I do expect we have a small pullback before continuing upwards. That's all I got. If you like the video, leave a like, subscribe. You'll see more. I'm going to leave it at that. Take care, everybody. Adios.